All right, Patrick. I love this reporting here from Phil Miller. He is asking the questions that need to be asked at the All-Star festivities. And I haven't done a deep dive into this yet, but he has Scott Boras confirming that the Twins and the Carlos Correa camp, which is led by Scott Boras, have not had any meaningful discussions about Correa signing some other form of contract that would keep him in Minnesota beyond 2022.
Well, we know that this all happened when Scott Boras called the Twins one evening, very late in the negotiating season, and said, "Do you want Carlos Correa for one season?"
Merry Christmas.
The Twins said,
Go look
"Yeah,
under your tree."
sure, we'll take him for one season." So the rest of it, listen. How can Scott Boras and Juan Soto and Soto turn down 440 million? Because he always takes guys to free agency whenever he can. That might be enough to get him. It's not because he thinks there's more. He wants to find out if there is more. He's got 2 more years. He's not, if some team trades for Soto and offers him Moon, he's probably not going to sign there either. He always takes guys to free agents. See, and the Twins know, and he knows that Carlos Correa is going to free agency. That does not mean you can't sign him next year if you win the bidding contest, but he's going to free agency because that was the outline of the deal when he called them up and said, "You want him for 1 year? And by the way, I want a little something in there for me in case he breaks a leg. We can fall back on the 36 million for the second year."
So he can rehab for a couple bucks. Yeah, that'd be great.
And as Judd's pointed out, and other people, the other part of this is he gets all the agent's fee after this season. He wouldn't have last year. He would have had to split it with the other guy if he'd gotten the big deal. So, because Correa didn't become his client until January 17th. Right. The other guy was in for a share of whatever signing bonus, whatever cut that the agent gets. Now, next year, anything Correa gets, it's the cut is all Boras's. So it doesn't do any good for the Twins to talk to him. He's going to become a free agent.
Okay. Do you think I am crazy, as my Twitter followers would suggest, that if they, they're on an 86 win pace. I think you have them. You tweeted something. You think they're a 79 win team, so they're not winning 100 games here, but they could go add 3 pitchers and trade some prospects or whatever, which I would like to see them continue pushing forward. But if they decide, you know what, we're just not going to go, we're not going to give up a bunch of prospects and we're whatever, Frankie Montas is too expensive. If they decide not to add and push forward in the next 2 weeks, doesn't it make sense to trade Correa in the next 2 weeks?
If somebody wants him, sure. If somebody's going to give you a decent player. They're 23-28 since May 25th, which is a pretty accurate reflection of what they are. They had that early run. They won 11 out of 12. And then they had another nice little run. They had a 6-game winning streak, and then they lost those 2 games in Detroit. And I remember those at the end of that series. And were they here? They lost. I thought it was in Detroit. They lost 2 straight, and they're 23-28 since then. So that's them. This is them. They're not good. They're not good. I did a long tirade with Judd yesterday. You cannot win with this pitching. Their relief pitcher has given up 55 home runs. You know how many home runs the Yankees relief pitching has given up? 17 playing in that bandbox. How many Houston's given up? 19 with that little wall right out there in left field. You're going to send out Devin Smeltzer and the overrated Joe Ryan and this collection of pitchers and think you're going to compete. You can't. This cannot last. This cannot last. With this pitching.
The marketing slogan.
Yeah.
Twins second half. This
can't
cannot last. Don't look at us. Nothing to see here. We don't want to.
I don't. Plus, look at their farm system. Who the hell does anybody want to give you somebody good? We could maybe send him a former number 1 draft choice, Aaron Sabano, who's got her over 200 now in Cedar Rapids. We're very excited about that. He's up to 213. I looked up Austin Martin today. He's 230 at Wichita. That shortstop they drafted, Kiki, whatever his name is, he's in Kabako or whatever. No, Keone. He's 219 at the lowest A. I've been looking at these draft. Who's drafting, by the way? Let's bring back the guy who got Tyler J instead of Andrew Benintendi, Jared Johnson. He might have been better than this guy. Their drafts are terrible. And their early top of their drafts, their farm system's got to be in the bottom 7 or 8 now.
How are they? Think about where they were in 2019 with a good young nucleus of hitters and some pitchers that were maybe on the rise. And how are we sitting here 3 years later in year 6 of this front office, kind of wondering that after, by the way, they were gifted Carlos Correa.
Yes, right.
And we're still sitting here looking at the whole thing like, can they make the playoffs even? I don't know.
Where's the pitching? Where's the young pitching? You got Duran, who you made a good trade for, I guess. And you got who else? It's
it's a problem.
and it can't be solved. You took your shot, Chris Paddock. You took your shot, Sonny Gray. You took to improve the pitching, starting rotation. You took your shot, and it didn't work. So what do you do now? You can't package 3 guys together, and if you can get something for Kepler, okay, fine. If you can get something for Correa, yes, probably. But you don't have anybody to play shortstop. Well,
that's the thing. If you trade Correa, it's not to help this year's team, right? If you trade Correa, it's to help future Twins teams, and then Nick Gordon can play shortstop for 2 months or something.
Yeah, and the trouble is you can't give up while you're in first place, or close to first place. But
White Sox did once.
Huh? White Sox.
The Sox did what? Was that early 2000s? The Sox were like 2 games out and just punted and said, "We're not that good."
Yeah, that's right. I can't remember what year that was.
Kenny Williams was GM at the time.
Kenny Williams was GM. Yeah.
And he basically said, forget about it. We're not good. Mm-hmm. But Pat, here's the thing. Here's the great thing. Because I read this. I saw this. So it must be true. This year's draft, unbelievable.
Yes, it was.
Yielding first 2 rounds picks that I'm going to tell you right now, no one thought would be there.
I believe that I'm writing something for tomorrow, and I think I might use the line, the last act of a desperate baseball team is to go to the traditional NFL. We had no idea he was going to be there. That's the last act of a baseball team. We had no idea he was going to be there. I did a tirade on this yesterday with Judd about
it. Was glorious.
The baseball draft. You got your A-Rod, you got your Kenny Jr., Griffey Jr., and the rest of them, you're throwing darts.
Yep.
Right? I mean, the rest of them, you're throwing darts. There's just as good a chance that some 7th rounder is going to be in the All-Star game as this kid from Cal Poly that we stole. When you start going to this, we stole a guy card, then, in the baseball draft, they were better off when they all, anybody watch the first Jeter episode last night?
I did, yes.
Yep. I want to watch it.
It's pretty pandering. It's the pandering. How do you like the way they're taking? They got some guy at a little old fallen down computer and saying, okay, Who's got the next pick?
Yeah, so they went and showed like was it the
It's printing out.
91 true draft or whatever, and
92.
and he's literally on like the oldest Macintosh computer you could possibly find.
Jeffrey B. Hammond.
Conference
And by
call,
the
yeah.
way, you get 14 seconds to make your decision.
Yeah.
Okay, who do you got? That's
Rotisserie draft more organized.
He gets his choice. He tries to spell the name correctly.
Yes,
He tries to spell the name correctly and then say, okay, Houston, who you taking? Basically, that's it. There's nothing. That's the way the baseball draft should be. They should just have the draft and then hand out a sheet of paper afterwards and say, this is who we ended up with. Because it's all, Now, obviously, they get a lot better look at these players in 2022 than they did in 1992. But the guy, but the funny part about the Jeter was the guy didn't understand what they told him. And he said, who, some Jeter from Kalamazoo or something. He didn't know who it was. So that's the NBA. That's the MLB draft that we're now trying to make. And we analyze, and I told Judd this yesterday too, Phil. The analysis of, they draft this kid and they say, well, they can really use a shortstop. Well, okay, 2028, they need a shortstop. Okay,
this guy might be a solution in 2028. Yeah,
2027. By the way, am I wrong, or were at least the first 2 days, all the Twinkies draft choices were college kids? Am I wrong?
You'd have to tell me.
I think they took all.
I think that's right.
I think they took all college.
Another sign of a desperate organization trying to expedite the process of how quickly these players can help them.
But I mean, where are you guys? Do you think they should really do something here that this team can accomplish something, or what?
Well, I think where I'm at here is, and maybe it's me just frustrated with the front office over. I think I'm still kind of irked at 2019 and why was Sam Dyson your second best acquisition at the trade deadline? How have you not known about Sam Dyson and Chris Paddock injuries before you make trades? But I think where I'm at is, okay, so you've had 6 years to mold this franchise, including a young nucleus of offensive players, Polanco and Kepler and Miguel Sano's prime years and Buxton's prime years. I mean, this is it. This is the young group that was supposed to be it. And then you added Correa and Sonny Gray to it. And so if you're not there, you should be adding just to play this thing out. To me,
you might be right, because I was thinking about this. When you look, their farm system, they and the White Sox and the Twins among the Central Division teams are. The minor league systems are the worst. The Twins are like 23rd and the White Sox are 30th.
Yeah.
But Kansas City and Detroit and, maybe Cleveland, I don't know. But Kansas City and Detroit, who are the two teams you are clearly better than now, have many more young, hot prospects than the Twins do. So this could be your last shot for quite a while. So in that sense, maybe maybe they should do something. But I don't think they have enough hot price. It's got to be a difference maker, though. If it's going to be, another Joe Smith or somebody. I mean, it's not. You can't just go get a relief pitcher. He has to be a good one, or a starter. I think they actually need a starter worse than they need a relief pitcher.
Explain this, though. Here's the thing I don't get. And you went into the season knowing that you were going to put basically parameters on a lot of your starting pitchers. How do you not have it planned out to have as good a bullpen as possible then? That's what I don't get. You're going from a starter who, Smeltzer gets you through 3 or 4, struggles a little bit. And then you go to a reliever who's not a great arm. And so my question is, what was your intention? What was your strategy?
I don't know. Here's the part of that. You go and you end up with Correa, right? And so all of a sudden that's given the message, we're going to try this year. Well, then why are you in a panic to trade Taylor Rogers if because you can't sign him after next season. I mean,
Right.
what's the deal? I guess they thought that what's Paddock when he's at his best? He's a 3 on a scale of 5. Maybe
Yep.
he's
good.
on a scale of 5. So a guy you're going to take a shot on a relief pitcher with a history. I mean, a starting pitcher with a history of that's your big shot you're going to take for a starting pitcher. There had to be some other place to go, right?
That's the thing, and I'll admit there is Twitter evidence. I love that trade in the moment because I didn't know about his elbow thing, and then a quick Google search of he had a partially torn UCL in September last year. Mm-hmm. That doesn't sound good. Well, how does that check out? How does that
And the Mets were supposedly on him and looked at the medicals and said no, thank you. So
exactly,
I don't know, but it's that this White Sox series though was a come to Jesus moment for these fellas. You get outscored 32-10 in 4 games, and all of a sudden you're saying to yourself, well, we got to do something really bold here, or we got to go the other direction, and I don't know what they're going to do, but you can't ride this out. They're not good enough. You can't.
Yeah, they've they don't have to give any wins back. They are where they are, and now the evidence is staring you in the face. So either do something, and this is where I don't know. You can't bring Carlos Correa in, gift wrapped or not, for $35 million, and then
give up,
not make the playoffs, and then just let him walk and maybe get draft pick compensation. If a team's willing to give you 2 good young pieces for him, I would rather do that than ride it out without trading for 3 pitchers. Pick a lane, I guess.
Let's trade him to the Yankees for Isaiah
Falefa,
and a starting and a pitcher. And they got an abundance of pitchers. You can go back to plan A, put Falefa at shortstop, and let the Yankees have Correa, and that they would only have to pay those overcharge on him for a half a year, and then get one of their ungodly collection of pitchers that they have, reliever, starter. They got 7 or 8 starters, and
do you think the Yankees after the season will pay both Judge and Carlos Correa? Would they pay a $750 million for 2 guys?
No, I don't think they'll pay Correa. I don't know who. That's right now. When I look, I said, who says I got to get a shortstop here? I got to get a shortstop.
Right.
What would it take us to get Julio Rodriguez, by the way?
Oh, my God.
That's awesome.
God, I said on Twitter, who needs Russell Wilson in a town when you got Julio Rodriguez?
Well, I'll say, listen, all full credit to him for hitting the 32 home runs in the first round last night. But I think the most underrated chunk of, if this is a pie chart of praise, the batting practice pitcher that he used, who didn't take a step forward. He's
a catcher. He's a former catcher. He just went like this.
Same place every time.
And he threw it in this little box. It was
it's a former minor league catcher.
That he must know.
That's the key, man.
Got
to have the right guy.
Literally no stride. Just boom.
Because the guy, he just ran out of steam. But the guy Soto had was trying to fool him. He was throwing it out and throwing it away.
Shaking off.
He was trying to get him out.
They were complaining about that.
They said he's hitting it to all fields. Well, that's because the guy was throwing it to all fields.
Well, at one point, the announcers were blaming the catcher. You got to set up further inside. Yeah. No, he's just throw the ball further inside. The catcher's not.
Eduardo Perez did not like the target.
No.
He kept getting mad about the target.
Yeah, but it was, they wanted the kid to win, obviously, because he put on such a show in the first round. What do you think those baseballs they were using yesterday? Oh, yeah, that was 482 or something.
Yeah.
Like
Wasn't there a 520-foot home run at one point last night?
Yeah, those were definitely titanium centers.
All from 2019.
It might have been.
The Mitch Garver specials.
The regular season version of that baseball.
Oh, yeah, not the playoff version.
I'm depressed today, though, man. The rumors that Cameron Smith is going. Yesterday we talked about it. Judd asked me, and I said, "Nah, he won't go to LIV."
Is he going?
Supposedly. right?
He's going with David Faraday and Charles Barkley, huh?
And,
All going to hop on a jet.
Barkley.
Matsuyama is going, right? Too. They saying he's playing up here this weekend, but he's apparently going too.
What if these guys what if the LIV Tour, because they pretty much have to stick to 54 holes, I would think. It was a huge selling point to the players,
Yeah,
right?
you can't call
What
it
if they
you
never
can't-
get, and by the way, the World Golf Rankings Committee includes like the head of the PGA Tour and the head of the
Yes,
European Tour. So what if
I
they
don't
never
know.
get World Golf Rankings? They're just going to
Yeah,
sit
they're
over there
like
and
the Players Championship is that's the PGA that's not the the Players is the so they can't play in that. They can't play in the Players. But the PGA is the PGA of America. But all of a sudden these guys are going to start disappearing from the rankings.
and they already are.
Unless you've won the thing and have that as your exemption, they're not going to. That's what Tiger made that point that these guys, some of these young guys are never going to play in a major again,
Yeah.
So-
But I think a lot of them are, a lot of them are Europeans and Aussies and guys, and there's about 3 or 4 really influential agents who I think are probably running the show over there, getting all the European guys to go. The European Ryder Cup team is they're going to have tryouts at public golf courses to try to get a team together because all their players are bailing out and leaving for that.
Yeah.
So, Pat, is this being done though to try and force the PGA's hand to up the purses and things? Like, is there any strategy here at all?
I think it's being done because they think this is a viable way to play golf. 54 holes, 48 guys. You don't have to play a pro-am on Thursday. This is being done for guys who don't really like golf.
It is.
Play it for
They've
a living.
all said that. All of them have said that to a certain extent. Dustin Johnson chirped back at one of the reporters like a month ago and said, "I'm looking to play less golf."
Yes, right. That's right.
It's like, won't you miss playing in the Memorial and this and that? He's like, "I'm looking to play less golf."
Yeah, well, they hate playing in the Wednesday pro-ams. You come up to the 3M Open, you have to play Wednesday. And if you're a schlep, you got to play Tuesday too in the pro-am, but you got to play the Wednesday pro-am. And, that drives them nuts, of course. And now you get to play, less golf. Dustin, we saw Dustin last year, number 18. Hey, man, if I make par here, I got to stay for 2 more days. He hit in the water and was on his plane.
Uh-oh. I think we lost. Did we just lose both of them? I think we...
How?
I think we just lost both of them. Anyhow, well, I'm guessing that Dustin Johnson take was going to be riveting. He did put a ball in the water on the 18th on purpose. And that discussion with Patrick Royce, presented by our friends at Federated Mutual Insurance Company. Federated has been around for over 100 years, helping business owners with risk management tools and resources, helping to maximize your business. Find out more about how Federated can help your business at federatedinsurance.com. All right, that was Rapping with Royce.